Good morning or afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeremy Walsh, and I am the Director of Support, Training, and Documentation for BNI Connect. I'd like to welcome everybody to today's webinar. The subject matter of today's webinar is really the social media contents of BNI Connect, really what gives BNI Connect its name, how we connect with other people within the BNI Connect system. And that's done through finding people, looking at people's profiles, establishing connections with other people, engaging in conversations through the social media groups within BNI Connect. And we're going to go over today a lot of those functions and how to find them and how to be found in BNI Connect. This is a live webinar, which means that as we're going through the webinar, if you have any questions, please do feel free to ask those questions. I'll be happy to answer those as we're going through. We are scheduled for approximately 30 minutes worth of content. However, at the end, I will open it up for general questions, and I am always happy to stay on these calls as long as people still have questions, whether it's on this subject matter or anything to do with BNI Connect. The webinar is also being recorded. You'll be able to find the recording for this webinar in a couple of different places. You can either go directly to our YouTube channel by going to www.youtube.com/BNI Connect Global. And this is where we put all of our videos and recorded webinars up here on this website, including some videos from Dr. Meisner, as well as all the previously recorded webinars. You'll also find them if you click on the link in BNI Connect with the question mark here in the upper right-hand corner. This will take you to our support site. And by going to our support site, you'll see a section, if you scroll down to the bottom, for trainings. And in this training section, you'll see a webinars. And they're all broken out chronologically by month. So you can click on one of those and view any of the webinars that happen during that month. This one will be up there probably in about a week or so. So let's get started with the social media components of BNI Connect. And probably one of the most important things to consider before we even get engaged in social media and connecting with other people is to really make sure that your profile is fully filled out. Now, the reason for this is that you really need to have your best foot forward when you're looking to meet other people. For example, let's say that I was going out to, I'm just a member of the public, and I go out to one of the regional websites. Now, you are visible on the regional websites as well as the members-only portion of BNI Connect. So I'm up here on our test region, the Antarctica site, but let's say that I'm doing a search for one of those members up there. Once I hit the search button, it'll bring back all of the results for the Find a Member search. And we can see I have a member up there, Alfred E. Newman, up in Antarctica. And if I click on his profile, this is what you'll see. It has his name, it has his chapter, but it doesn't really have any other information about this person. So if somebody was, let's say, looking for a plumber or looking for an electrician or looking for a photographer, do you think that they would want to refer business to this person? Do you think they would want to connect with you if your profile looks this way? Now, let's look at a more completed profile. So, for example, I'm going to go to our regional site. I am a member here in the Rhode Island region. Been a member since about 2002. Now, if I go to find a member here in Rhode Island, and let's say that somebody's looking for, computer support, which is something that my company provides. So we go and we search in our region, and you can see one of the people listed there is me. So if they click on my link, they would get a complete profile. They have my name. They have all the numbers in which to contact me. They have my website. They have all my social media links so that they can jump onto any of those social media platforms and learn more about me. It has my logo. It has my description of my business, my TOPS profile. All of this stuff helps to build visibility and credibility with the people that you're connecting with on the social media platform of BNI Connect. Now, the same thing happens on the inside of BNI Connect. So once you click on BNI Connect or the members only section, you'll be brought into the inside of BNI Connect. and people connect with you here as well. So this is really a search for only other members around the world, and only BNI members have access into this part of the system. Now, the way we find people in BNI Connect is by using this magnifying glass in the upper right-hand corner. Before I get to that, if you still need to work on your profile, let me just show you where to do that quickly. Right above the magnifying glass, there's a button that says My Account. If we click on My Account, this will take you to your profile. And within the profile here, it's broken into a number of tabs. Now, I'm not going to go through this in too much detail. We do have a webinar dedicated to just some tips and tricks and techniques for filling out your profile. But do make sure you go through each one of these tabs and fill them all out, especially your My Business, and even more importantly, when it comes to getting found in BNI Connect, both on your regional website and on the members only portion, make sure that you take some time to look at your keywords. Keywords is how people are going to find you when they don't know your name. So let's say I have a cousin in Florida that I need to, she needs her carpets cleaned. I'm not going to be able to find somebody by name, but I'll probably do a search for carpet cleaners in Florida. Also, make sure you go through each of these other tabs, especially your Bio tab, which has a lot of information about you, your business, some commercials, your gains profile. And the second tab, which is the User Profile, which is where you can upload your picture. Now, we do have a question already from Trish that says, do the keywords also impact Google searching? The keywords are not going to impact the Google searching here, and the reason for that is that it's really a back-end parameter for searches that BNI Connect is running. So it's not information that's available to Google. Things that will affect your Google searching will be things like your name, your company name. This My Business description here, that is something that is displayed on the regional website. So having good words in your My Business description will matter. And the other thing that's available to the public on the regional websites is going to be your bio, specifically the TOPS profile. So having good relevant words within your TOPS profile will help your Google rankings or your Google search results with that. So hopefully that helps, Trish. All right. So after you've now filled out your profile, how do you find people in order to connect with them in BNI Connect? Well, again, that's done through this magnifying glass. So we find people, we click on the magnifying glass, and there's actually two searches. We have our search in the BNI directory, and this is considered the simple search. There's also, you can see here, a link for the advanced search, which you can specify more details about what you're searching for. But the basic search here allows you to just type in a phrase, a keyword, or even somebody's name in order to find them in BNI Connect. So, for example, we have Trish on the line with us today. She just asked us a question. So I'm going to go ahead and type in Trish and see if I can find her here in BNI Connect. So in a couple of seconds, it'll give us some results. So what it's doing right now, by the way, is it's searching the entire global BNI database, so all of the members, all of the directors worldwide in all of the countries that BNI is in order to find a match. Trish, it doesn't look like it wants to find you. And here we go. We can see that we have two different sets of matches. So we have exact matches. So it said that it found one result for exactly what I was looking for, which is Trish, and then a number of other results that may match one or the other of the words that we have in here. So you can see here it found a Trish Andrews and a Trish Barthrope, I believe it is. You know, a bunch of other matches as well. And it found this person because you can see that the business company name is Crop. And about 59 other results that are in here. Now, if I'd like to see more about Trish, I can click on her name, and this will open up in a new window, and it will have her profile. So you can see we have Trish's picture here. Looks like my internet connection is a bit slow this afternoon, but it has the rest of her details as well. So I can see all of the different roles that she has in BNI. I can see that she's a chapter director consultant. I can see that she's also an executive director, her company name, her logo, the numbers in order to get in touch with her. I can send her an email. I can go and visit their website. I can also look at other things. So you can see that there's other tabs here for me to learn more about Trish. So I can look at her bio and her gains profile, which she doesn't have up yet. I can also see who she is connected with. So just like LinkedIn, I can look at the second level connections. I can even click through and look at these people's profile. I can check out any testimonials that people have left for Trish, any photos that she might have shared, any groups that she belongs to, as well as her training history. And when I'm done, I could do one of two things. I can decide that I'd like to add Trish to my connections, or I can just close out. Now, if I choose to, I'm going to click Add Trish to my connections. And what this will do is send Trish a message saying, I'd like to connect with you. So we have, hi Trish, I'd like to add you to my connections. Now you can customize this message if you want to. So say, thanks for being on the webinar today. I would like to add you to my connections. And click Submit. Now she'll be notified that somebody has sent her a connection request, and then she'll have to go in and accept my connection. When I'm all done, I can close out of this. And then I can continue my searches with anybody else. So again, going back to the example I had before, let's say my aunt is looking for carpet cleaning in Florida. So maybe I want to do a search for carpet cleaning in Florida and click Search Members. So this comes back with a number of exact matches for people that do carpet cleaning and in the state of Florida. So it looks like it came up with the maximum of 250 results. And I can scroll through these results page by page to see if there's anybody that I'd like to connect with. I could even just click and look at their profiles. So it looks like Eric Hill, just a random person that I clicked on, does appear to have a fairly complete profile. I can see if he has any testimonials about his business, maybe help increase my credibility. Now, one of the other great things about filling out your profile is that on the Bio tab, if you happen to fill out your 60-second presentations, I could actually read one of the 60-second presentations to see if it's the type of business that he's asking for. And then I can either connect with them or possibly send them an email or give them a call if they have their name and phone number shared. So for the next part of this, I need a little bit of audience participation. So I'm going to go in and show you what the connections interface looks like once you have started establishing connections, but I need somebody to send me a connection request, please. So if you could, do a search for me in this global directory here. Do a search for Jeremy Walsh. You can click on the little plus arrow that would appear next to my name. Obviously, I can't connect with myself, so there's no plus arrow. And send me a connection request. Now, the advanced search works in the same way, except that you can really get, narrow down your search with very, very specific terms. So you can look specifically for first names or last names or company names. You can even select the industries and classifications and the country that you'd like to look for specifically, and even a city and a state. So if the basic search is returning too many results, you can go over to this advanced search and search more specifically for people. So now that you've sent off a bunch of connection requests, how do you then view the connections? Well, the easiest way to do that is to go into really the social media portal in BNI Connect. And the way to do that is I'm back at my home screen here. And you can see on the left-hand side we have the My BNI Business. And this is obviously where we go through. We enter our referrals for the week. We can see our stats up here. We can check our referral tracking sheet. But right below that is a link for My Network. And this is really all the social media components of BNI Connect. So we have the connections. We have the groups, any documents that your region has shared with you, your testimonials, networking and training events in your region, and your messages. So now if I want to go in after I've made these connections and start interacting with my connections, the way I do that is through the connections. And I can click on Manage. Notice that the Add button will take you right back to that search feature that we just went over. But I'm going to go ahead and click on Manage. So you can see I have 325 connections, and they'll all be listed here as well as on the right-hand side. So I can either scroll through the list here when I'm looking for just names, or if I'm also looking at people's pictures, I can scroll through on the right-hand side. Now, everybody should, at the very least, be connected to all of the people in their chapter. So if you are a member of BNI, you will have basically the number of connections of people in your chapter to start out with. Now, those are system-managed connections. So you can't remove connections to people from your chapter, and anybody that comes to your chapter as a new member will automatically become a connection for you. Now, once I have connections, we can go and we can look at the information about the people. And this is really looking at their profile. Think of this as your kind of address book for your BNI connections. So let's say I'd like to look at the details for one of my connections. Let's say Amber Jones here. This will give me really an address book-like view of her information. I can see that she's in the Connecticut region in Farmington Valley. I can see some of her pertinent information here. And then at the bottom, I also have a couple of other options. So I can send her a message. BNI Connect does have an internal messaging system. I can ask Amber for a testimonial about my business. I can give Amber a testimonial. I can go and view her full profile, or I can remove Amber from my connections. Just keep in mind that for other chapter members in your own chapter, this option will not be available. I can also do a search among your connections. So let's say you're looking for somebody specifically. You can type in their name, click search, and I can see the 3 Peters that I'm connected to. I can click on them and look at their specific information. Now, what about when people have sent you a connection request? And I'd like to thank, there's, I think, 3 people that have sent me a connection request while we've been on this webinar. So it looks like Serena, Trish, and Jose have sent me connection requests. When you get those connection requests, you do need to accept them before they'll go into your connections. Now you'll see here I have the option to read the message that Serena or Trish and Jose sent. I can do that by clicking, and it has, I would like to add you to my connections. So I can choose to either accept, ignore, or reject this request. I'm going to go ahead and accept this request. Same thing with Trish. I can go in and read the message. And she says, surprise, I would like to add you to my connections. And I can go ahead and accept that one as well. Now, one thing that's coming in a near future version of BNI Connect, we're expecting it towards the end of this year, is the ability to bulk accept your connections as well. So thank you to all of you that sent me connection requests. And now these people will be in my connections. So now you can see I have 329 connections. Now, what about testimonials? So testimonials are a great way to help fellow members build credibility. And the way to go to the testimonials is either we can go back to our home screen and click on the testimonial section. Of course, we can always click on Network up here from any screen and go to Testimonials. Or while we're in the My Connections function, click on the Testimonials. And Nathan, I do see your question about an app, and I will definitely get to that question in just a few minutes. So you can see here I have received 10 testimonials, and I can go through and I can review them through here. So if I'd like to, I can read the testimonial from Dawn. And if I scroll down to the bottom, I can choose whether or not to display this testimonial on my profile. I can also, if I choose to, delete this testimonial. I can also review the testimonials that I've given to other people. So I can see that I've left a testimonial for Brian, and I can review what I said about Brian. Now, when people request a testimonial of you, you can also review those in the testimonial requests. If I'd like to go back to my connections, I can just click the Connections button, or of course, click on Network Connections. So Trish asks about testimonials, can you edit, as in delete, parts of a testimonial? So once you have submitted a testimonial to somebody, it now becomes part of their profile. So if you need to make edits to that testimonial, you need to give a different testimonial, you would have to ask that person to please delete the testimonial. So, and for testimonials that you receive, unfortunately, no, you cannot directly edit those either. You could delete that testimonial and ask the other person to send you a new one. Okay. All right. So does anybody have any other questions specifically about the connections or testimonials in BNI Connect? All right, so the next thing I'd like to go into, we have about 6 minutes or so left, is the groups functionality. And this is where you can really, kind of kick it up a notch with building your global network. And the reason for this is that there are tons of great discussions going on between BNI members every single day. Now, the place you find these, again, if I go to my Network here, you'll see a Groups tile. Now, in that Groups tile will be a quick list of a couple of the groups that you are participating in. If you aren't participating in any groups, then obviously this will be empty. To go and search for groups and participate in them, you can click on the Manage button here under the Groups tile. Or, of course, you can always go up to Network and click on Groups. So right now it's sorting all the groups by the latest activity. And we can see that right now there's approximately 2,393 groups that are active in BNI Connect right now. Now, some of those groups are private, some of them are public, but they're all a grouping of people that are having conversations on a daily basis. So you can either go through and scroll by all the groups, page by page, just by clicking through the pages, and take a look at what these groups are talking about. Alternatively, you can search for groups that you want to participate in. You do that through this magnifying glass. So you can search by keyword, either in the title and description or the topics or within the posts themselves. Or you can search by creator. Now, let's say that I'd like to search for all of the groups that Dr. Meisner has created. I would type in Meisner and click Search. So I can see that there's 2 groups that are created by Dr. Meisner. I can see that they're both pretty active. There's 31 topics, 111 posts in this one group, and 818 participants. There's another group that has 77 topics, 222 posts, and 1,356 participants. I can see when their last posts were and that they are active groups. Now, if you'd like to become a part of this group, so really becoming a part of the group means you can then comment on things as well as receive notifications that there were new posts in the group. Click on the button that says Join Group. Most groups, unless they're a private group, you can also just go in and check out what's going on in the group. To do that, click on the name of the group. So let's say I want to check out the From the Founder group. I can take a look at all of the topics that are here. I can see there's a topic, a recent topic, Attitude as a Choice. Maybe I want to go in and read more about Attitude as a Choice. And I can read the posts by both Dr. Meisner and all of the other people that are participating in this group. Now, one thing I'll tell you is that Dr. Meisner himself is the one that responds to all of the posts in this group. So if you'd like to be connected with Dr. Meisner and have a conversation with him, this is one of the best ways to do it. He is very active in these groups. So Trish asks, well, how many groups can you be a part of? Well, you can actually be a part of as many groups as you would like to be. My recommendation is pick groups that interest you. Trish asks, how many do you recommend is reasonable? Well, when it comes to participating in groups, I mean, it all depends on your capacity for being able to follow up with all of the posts that are happening within those groups. When it comes to creating groups, and I'll show you how to create a group in just a second, you are limited to creating 7 total groups in BNI Connect. So every member, every user has the ability to create up to 7 groups. And that's pretty much, that's a lot to manage from a topic perspective and staying on top of things. So if you do want to create a group, simply just click the Add Group button. Now there's lots of different reasons for creating a group. Maybe you want to create a group just for your chapter so that your chapter has discussions about things. Maybe you want to create a group about your particular contact sphere or the things that, looking for referrals. There's a group in here for florists in the United States. All the florists have gotten together so that they could create a network in order to pass referrals back and forth for out-of-state floral jobs. Just give your group a name. So I'm just going to give this one a fake name right now. Now you can choose whether people can just view the group until they become a participant, until they join the group, or whether they can view and post in the group. There's 3 different types for groups. There's a completely open group, meaning anybody can search for it. Anybody can become a member of the group. There's an invite only, which means only you as the creator and any moderators that you designate will be able to bring people into that group. And then there's the members can invite. So once people become part of the group, they can further invite people into the group. Give the group a description. Now the language setting, it doesn't translate anything about the group. It's just to let people know what the primary language that will be used in the group is. And then you can go through and invite any of your contacts to become a part of the group. You can even use Control-A to select everybody. Once you click Submit, your group will be created. Now, as soon as you create a group, I just created this AFJUIF group. The first thing you do want to do is make sure you go into the group and make somebody a moderator so that if you decide to give somebody else the ability to go in and edit that group as well. You do that by going into the participants, and once you have a participant in here, you can make them a moderator. So that brings us to the bottom of the hour. For those of you that do need to leave, we do have a couple of questions up, and as I said, I will absolutely stay online as long as necessary to go through and answer all of the questions. For those of you that do need to leave right away at the bottom of the hour, I do want to thank you for being here. And just a reminder that this is being fully recorded, including all the upcoming questions. So if you would like to review those at a later time, they'll be available at youtube.com/BNI Connect Global, as well as on the support site. So let's go through and answer these questions. So Trish had the question about how many groups. I already answered that one. Nathan asks, what about an app? Right now, there's still quite a bit of discussion about apps and BNI Connect. And actually, if you go to the groups, Dr. Meisner has a very good description of the philosophy behind apps and BNI Connect. So if you go to the topics, where is it here? I know that there is I believe right here in the DigiCard, Dr. Meisner answers the question about apps and the direction that the company is going. So you can actually go in, and there is a whole study that's been done on apps as far as BNI Connect is concerned, and you can download that PDF file here. So right here, again, that's in the groups. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste that into your question here so that you have the ability to go and download that study. So that goes into very good detail. So hopefully that answers your question, Nathan. Jose says, can I use BNI Connect to search for members designated as subs in specific towns? Well, Jose, right now, BNI Connect does not support anything to do with subs as far as finding subs or anything like that within the system. So some regions have developed their own methods for finding subs. My personal opinion of it is that it's usually better to have somebody that would bring bigger benefits to you as a member as your sub. For example, a client who would be able to give you a phenomenal testimonial, maybe another employee or colleague, anything that would increase your visibility and credibility within the chapter when you can't be there yourself. Even inviting somebody who might potentially be a visitor and possible future member to your chapter. So usually when it comes to subs as other members in BNI, my personal opinion is that I usually use that as an absolute last resort as a substitute. So hopefully that helps, Jose. All right, that's the last question that I had. Does anybody have any additional questions either about the social media aspects or anything else about BNI Connect? Oh, Trish, I think, did I skip over your question? What is a contact? Is that the same as a connection? So I'm not sure, where are you seeing contact? Okay, so What I mean is a moderator for the groups. So I'll show you what I mean. For example, one of my groups Okay, I'm sorry. So I think what you're referring to is, I think I just slipped up in a word. You can invite your connections to become participants. So when you have a group, you can invite people. And I believe what I said was that you can invite your contacts. These contacts are actually your connections. So it's kind of just a mislabel here, but this is really your list of connections. It's the same exact list as in the connections function. So thank you for pointing that out. I actually never noticed that before. We can get that adjusted in the translation. All right, now do we have any other questions? And I apologize for skipping over that one. All right, while you're thinking of any last-minute questions, again, just a reminder, this will be on youtube.com/BNI Connect Global. I would also love it if you could give us a like up on facebook.com/BNI Connect Global. We do tons of announcements and updates and reminders and tips and tricks and all sorts of things up here on our BNI Connect Facebook site. So please do go up there, give us a like, drop us a note, and be happy to interact with you there as well. And our very next webinar is coming up in just a couple of days. So on August 23rd, we will have Building VCP with BNI Connect, and that will be more going in depth about filling out your profile in BNI Connect so that you can really maximize your VCP when other people find you and when you're looking to connect with other people in BNI Connect. If you found today's webinar useful, a great referral for me would be to please invite your chapter members, let them know about these webinars, and I'd love to get all the knowledge out of our heads and into yours. So again, if there's no additional questions, I would love to thank you all for your time today, and I look forward to seeing you on the next webinar. Happy connecting, everyone, and have a great afternoon.